Hi students, good morning to all. I welcome you all in this video lectures. So in the previous lecture, we have started the point capacity of the distribution reservoir, and in that we studied that to find out the storage capacity of distribution reservoir, we need to know what are the different types of storage which are the part of the that storage capacity of the distribution reservoir. So the total capacity of the distribution reservoir, it can be classified in divided in three categories or three storages. First one is the balancing storage or equalizing storage. Then second one is breakdown storage, and third one it is fire storage. So we have discussed about the theory part about these three storages, right? What is the meaning of balancing storage? Then what is breakdown storage and what is fire storage, right? Collectively, when we do the addition of these three storages, then we get the capacity of a distribution reservoir. That distribution reservoir, it may be a ground based reservoir, or we can say surface reservoir, or it may be a overhead tank. So we studied what is balancing storage, and we saw there the three methods are there to know the to find out the balancing storage. So we were about this point to start to find the quantity of balancing storage. Then we also studied that how what is the meaning of breakdown storage and how to find out that. Okay, and then fire storage, right? So these points we have covered in the previous lecture, and we saw the mass curve method also in the previous lecture. So what is the meaning of mass curve? So there are here again. So let us repeat this once again. Mass curve method. So mass curve method is nothing but it is the method which we use to find out the balancing storage of the distribution reservoir, in which we take the two curves. Okay, what are the two curves? First curve is the cumulative demand versus time curve, and second curve is the cumulative supply versus time curve, and these both curves are plotted on a one same graph. Okay, these two curves are plotted on the same graph. Here the supply curve is you can see here it is a straight line or uniform supply is there available from the pumping, what we can say, plant, from the plant, right, through the pump. But when but demand is not constant, it changes hourly basis every day, right? And when the demand is less, at that time you will get this curve. Okay, you can see here the supply is excess at this point, and this is the demand is low at this particular point, right? So at this particular region or at this particular time, what we do, we fill that distribution reservoir. जे डिस्ट्रीब्युशन रिझर्व्हायर आहे ते आपण त्या ठिकाणी पाण्याने भरून घेतो, आणि ज्या वेळेस त्या ठिकाणी डिमांड वाढतो, when that demand increases beyond the supply of the distribution, that supply of the treatment plant, okay, at that time we take the help of that distribution reservoirs in which water has been stored to fulfill this excess demand. हा जो एक्सेस डिमांड आहे तो फुलफिल करण्यासाठी आपण त्याची मदत घेतो, जे आपण डिस्ट्रीब्युशन रिझर्वायर आहेत त्याची, राईट? So here these two values, maximum values, that is the difference between supply and demand, when we do the addition of these two values, then we get the capacity of the distribution reservoir. Okay, so here you can see the formula here. Mass balancing capacity is equal to maximum excess supply. So here this curve, this ordinate represents, ordinate means this vertical line. So this ordinate represents the maximum supply line, and this line it represents the maximum excess demand. And when we add to these two ordinates, then we get the mass balancing capacity or balancing storage of the distribution reservoir. So we studied this point previously. So here once again I have repeated this one. And next method to find out the balancing storage is analytical method. Here analytical method means we do not take the help of the graph. Okay, we know we take the data of the previous years or previous record, and with the help of that data we find out the demand and supply. Okay, and then we tabulate with the help of table, we find what is the maximum excess demand and what is the excess supply, and then we do the addition of these two values and we find the balancing capacity or balancing storage of the distribution reservoir. ओके, जे आपण वरती ही मेथड बघितली आहे, ही ग्राफिकल मेथड आहे आणि याच्यामध्येच या ठिकाणी अनालिटिकल मेथड आहे. सेम मेथड आहे बट इट इज अनालिटिकल. हियर यू कॅन सी द सेम फॉर्म्युला इज देअर, मॅक्सिमम एक्सेस डिमांड and maximum excess supply. Okay, now here let us see from the available data of the hourly demand and supply. जो आपल्याकडे डेटा अवेलेबल आहे hourly demand and supply चा, त्या ठिकाणी काय करायचं आहे, we have to find out what is the cumulative hourly demand and what is the cumulative hourly supply. Okay, and that we have to tabulate for the 24 hours. Here you can see in first column there is a time. Okay, in second column there is a demand, in third column there is a supply. In the problem these three values will be given to you. Okay, and then next our work is to find out the cumulative demand and then to find out the cumulative supply. How to find out that cumulative demand and cumulative supply? Just go on adding these values. First value will be as it is, then do the addition of this in the previous value, then you will get the cumulative demand here. Okay, so that steps we will see when we are going to solve the problems here. Okay, in details. So it will not be you will not remember whatever the things I am telling here. When we solve the problem, at that time you will get more clear idea about that. Okay, so in this way, first what we do here, we find out the cumulative demand and cumulative supply from the given data. Okay, from the given demand and given supply we find these values, cumulative demand and cumulative supply, and then from this column number 4 and column number 5 we find the next two columns, that is column number 6 and column number 7. Okay, and here that column number 6 and 7 are nothing but it is the excess demand and excess supply. Okay, and here out of this maximum, what is excess demand and what is maximum excess supply, that two values we take here to find out the balancing capacity of the distribution reservoir. Okay, so this is the analytical method. The sum of maximum excess of the demand and maximum excess of the supply gives the balancing capacity of the reservoir. So already the theory we have discussed here, so not that much difficult here to understand this analytical method here. And our next method is hydrograph method. What is this hydrograph method? You might have studied the hydrograph in the water resources engineering. There we draw the hydrograph for the rainfall, where on the x-axis there is a time and on the y-axis there is a rainfall intensity, we can say. Okay, on the y-axis. So that graph we call the hydrograph. Similarly, here is also a hydrograph that we take the help of this hydrograph to find out the storage capacity of the distribution reservoir. How we can find out this? So for that purpose, what we do, we plot a graph of the supply and the demand. Okay, here you can see this graph, this curve, it shows or it represents the curve of demand. हा डिमांडचा कर्व आपल्याला या ठिकाणी पाहायला भेटतो. You can see here at the 12 night, the supply or the demand is very low. It go on reducing here up to 1 o'clock, and then it will start to increasing from 2 o'clock, and it will be maximum from between 9 to 10 or 8 to 10. So this is the maximum demand during the morning 8 hour to 8 to 10 hours. Okay, and then it will go on decreasing as time passes from 11 a.m. 12 noon, then 1 p.m. So it will again go on decreasing, and at 2 to 3 it is minimum here, right? And then again it will go on increasing in the evening, okay, up to 8 p.m. and from that again it will go on reducing up to 12 night. So this curve we have studied in the unit number 1, fluctuation curve. Okay, variation in the water demand in that particular point, and this line it represents the uniform supply of the water from the treatment plant. Okay, so it represents this one. So now here whatever the excess demand is there, you can see here it has been shown here with this line. Okay, आपल्याला या ठिकाणी पाहायला भेटतो. So to find out this distribution this excess demand, what we do, we take the help of planimeter. Okay, and this excess demand is nothing but, what is this excess demand? This excess demand is nothing but, it is the storage capacity of the reservoir. The reservoir ची storage capacity आहे. Then how to find out this? So the question might be come in your mind that here we are finding the area on the graph. Okay, a graph वरती आपण area या ठिकाणी find out करतो. How to find out that? With the help of planimeter. You might have studied in the surveying what is planimeter. So planimeter is an instrument with the help of which we can directly find out what is the area enclosed between a closed boundary. Now here you can see this is the closed boundary between B, C, then this is D, E and B. This is the closed curve. If you put that pointer of the planimeter here, and if we go on stressing this curve, closed curve, then you will get a closed area enclosed between this particular closed curve. Okay, as आपला area भेटेल. Then if you multiply this area by the per hour demand, then you will get here the volume. हे आपल्याला या ठिकाणी काय भेटेल? Volume आपल्याला त्या ठिकाणी भेटतं. So this volume is nothing but it is the storage capacity of the distribution reservoir. Okay, so likewise also we can find out the storage capacity of the reservoir, and this method is called as the hydrograph method. So it is well known that hourly demand rate is not constant throughout the day. Figure below shows the hydrograph over the hourly demand or the maximum day. So here you can see. So after plotting that supply and demand, the required storage is then obtained by planimetering or determining the same with other manner, finding the area, shaded area. This area can be converted into the units of volume to yield the required storage in million liters. So we can find the volume. Once you get the area, then we can find out that volume, and that volume is nothing but it is the volume of the storage capacity of the reservoir. Okay. So next point is factors affecting capacity of the reservoir. Okay. So these are the factors we will see, and then we are going to solve the problem based upon this, that finding the capacity of the distribution reservoir. So let us see, understand what are the factors which affect the capacity of the distribution reservoir. First one is the variation between maximum and minimum demand is the main factor which determine the capacity of the reservoir. So from this graph, it is also well known to you. This is the maximum demand, okay, and minimum demand. Minimum demand is nothing but this minimum demand. So this affect the storage capacity. जर या ठिकाणी maximum demand कमी असेल, then the capacity of that distribution reservoir will be reduced. The reserve required or the storage required for the emergencies like fire or breakdown of the pump. Again, the capacity of the reservoir, it depends upon this emergency like fire outbreaks and breakdown of the pump. याच्यावरती पण depend करते. Okay, if the number of breakdowns of the pumps or the failure of the electricity is more and it prolongs for the more time duration, then the capacity or the storage required for this emergency purpose, it will increase. Okay, and likewise the capacity of the reservoir will increase. Then third factor is standby pumping capacity. So standby pumping capacity means how much water it can be pumped with the standby pumps. Okay, म्हणजे त्या ठिकाणी जर इलेक्ट्रिक फेल्युअर वगैरे झाला असेल तर त्या ठिकाणी स्टँडबाय पंप्स किती आहेत, एक्स्ट्रा पंप विच आर रिक्वायर्ड टू मेंटेन द कंटिन्युअस सप्लाय ऑफ वॉटर फ्रॉम द ट्रीटमेंट प्लांट. त्याची जर कॅपॅसिटी कमी असेल स्टँडबाय पंपची, देन याची कॅपॅसिटी आपल्याला त्या ठिकाणी वाढवावी लागेल. वी नीड टू इन्क्रीज द कॅपॅसिटी ऑफ द डिस्ट्रीब्युशन रिझर्वायर. Okay, if the capacity of the standby pump is less, if the capacity of the standby pump is more, in that case the capacity of the reservoir it can be kept smaller. Okay, the next point is interconnections in the distribution mains. See, if the interconnection between the distribution mains, if it is more, then the capacity of the reservoir it will get reduced. So now here we have not yet studied the different systems of the water distribution. In that we are going to study the different system like grid iron system is there, then radial system is there. Okay, So there are different types of systems of supply are there. So depending upon their connections and their arrangements, this classification is done. And there are certain systems in which water flows by different ways, number of ways. For example, if such system is there, water is this is the suppose this is the main line, it has gone like this, and water is flowing from this particular point in this inside this particular submain. This is the submain, okay, and this is the main line. Suppose there is a problem in this particular pipeline, right? Then water cannot reach here to this laterals. This is the submain. As submain मध्ये जर problem असेल, then water cannot reach to this lateral. But if there is a connection like this, close connection, then when this submain is having maintenance, then water can flow through this particular submain. Okay, इकडून पण कनेक्शन त्याला जोडलेलं असेल, तर this demand of the water it can be fulfilled by using this submain. Okay, but suppose if there is only one submain and there are different types of laterals are connected to this, and there is a problem here, then water cannot be supplied to this downstream side laterals. Okay, so this is nothing but it is the interconnections of the distribution mains. जर अशा टाइपचं डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन इंटरकनेक्शन असेल, in that case, though there is a problem at one submain, water can flow through the other submain and it can be water can reach to the all laterals, right? But if such arrangement is there, in that case such kinds of arrangement cannot be done. Okay, so in this particular case, though there is a maintenance issue, water can reach properly, so that's why the capacity of the distribution reservoir will be required smaller or less capacity will be required. But जर अशी त्या ठिकाणी problem असेल, in that case more capacity of the distribution is to be provided. Okay, so these are the factors which affect the distribution capacity of the reservoir. Now here we are going to solve the problem based upon to find the capacity of the distribution reservoir. Take your notebook and calculator with you. Here we are going to do some calculations and we are going to find out what is the capacity, how to find out the capacity of the distribution reservoir. Okay, so let us write down this problem. A town with population of 2 lakh is to be supplied with a town with a population of 2 lakh is to be supplied with water daily at 190 liters per head. So it is nothing but it is 190 LPCD, liter per day per capita, or per capita per day, 190 liter per head. Full stop. Determine the capacity of service reservoir. Now here service reservoir means distribution reservoir. Okay, determine the capacity of service reservoir if pumping is done. Determine the capacity of service reservoir if pumping is done at uniform rate from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. See here, this method of water supply is not a continuous supply system. Continuous supply system means 24 hours there will be supply of water. So we can say this is a intermittent supply system in which the supply of water is only for the 12 hours. Okay, from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. After that, there will not be supply of water at night. 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. full stop. The variation in demand is as follows. The variation in demand is as follows. Prepare the table like this. This is the information given to us. In first column there is a duration, and in second column there is a variation in the demand. From 6 a.m. to 9 a.m., the variation of the demand is 30% of the total. Then from 9 a.m. to 12 noon, it is 15% of the total. Then from 12 noon to the 3 p.m., it is 10% of the total. 3 p.m. to 6 p.m., it is 15% of the total. And 6 p.m. to 9 p.m., it is 30% of the total. If you do the addition of these all values, it should be 100% because it is in percent of the total. 30 plus 15, it is 45 plus 10, 55 plus 15, it is 70, 70 plus 30, it is 100. Is it over? When it will be finished, then tell me. See, these are the very important problems in examination. Such kinds of problems have been asked many times. Yes. Is it over? Uday, your voice is not reaching to us. Now here, whatever the given things, first we will write down there. The population is 2 lakhs. Okay. And then water supplied at the 190 liter per day, 190 LPCD. ओके, प्रति मानसी एका दिवसामध्ये किती पाणी आपण प्रोव्हाइड करतोय? 190 लिटर, राईट. आणि किती वेळासाठी आपण प्रोव्हाइड करतोय? 12 आवर्स. या 12 तासामध्ये आपल्याला एवढं पाणी प्रोव्हाइड करायचं आहे. दिस 2 lakhs multiplied by 190. This will be the volume of water, or you can say capacity. This is the rate of flow. 190 into 2 liters per day, right? Are you getting my point? See here, population is 2 lakhs and rate of supply 190 LPCD. प्रति माणसी एवढं पाणी असेल तर 2 लाख लोकांसाठी किती असेल? So we have to multiply this 2 lakhs by 190. Then you will get the total discharge per liter, a liter per day. Okay. So do the multiplication of this. 38 into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 0. Right. Yes, 38 million. It will be like this. Now this 60, it can be written as 10 to the power 6. And this 10 to the power 6 is nothing but it is million. right? So here instead of this 10 to the power 6 we can write million. So this the discharge is nothing but it is 38 million liter per day or 38 mld. So this much discharge will be there per day. Now here the meaning of day is not 24 hours. Here the system is working for only 12 hours, that is from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Okay, then what will be the rate of pumping? जर पूर्ण दिवसामध्ये एवढा त्या ठिकाणी डिमांड आहे अँड दॅट डिमांड इज फुलफिल बाय पंपिंग फॉर द 12 hours, 12 तास आपण फक्त पंपिंग करणार आहोत. देन पर आवर व्हॉट विल बी द रेट ऑफ पंपिंग 12 तासामध्ये इन 12 hours इफ वी आर प्रोव्हाइडिंग 38 million liters of water, then in 12 hours, here I can write like this, in 12 hours we are providing 38 million liters of water. Then for 1 hour how much liter of water will be supplied? So do here the cross multiplication like this as a gunottar kada, you will get here 12x is equal to 38 million liter. Okay, and when we take this 12 on this side we will get 3, right? Or not 3, 3.16 million liter. So the capacity of pump or pumping rate जो आहे it should be 3.16 million liter per hour, म्हणजे एका तासामध्ये एवढं पाणी त्या ठिकाणी सप्लाय केलं पाहिजे. ओके, सो राईट डाउन दिस थिंग्स. फर्स्ट गिवन राईट डाउन population P is equal to 2 lakhs, or you can write here like this 2 lakh. Then rate of water supply 190 LPCD. Then find out what is the rate of supply. So this rate of supply is nothing but it is per day, million liter per day, MLD. 2 lakh into 190, it has come 38 MLD. जे 24 तासामध्ये एवढं पाण्याची गरज आहे, पण हे पाणी आपण कंटिन्यू 24 आवर्स प्रोव्हाइड नाही करणार, सप्लाय करत नाहीये. आपण किती तास सप्लाय करतो ते 12 तासामध्ये आपण एवढं पाणी त्या ठिकाणी प्रोव्हाइड करणार आहोत, 38 MLD, राईट. देन हिअर this water will be supplied within this hour. It is been given in the problem. Then to provide this much quantity of water within 12 hours, per hour how much water has to be supplied? So 38 divided by 12, you will get here 3.16 million liter per hour. So this much should be the capacity of pumping or pumping rate. So you can write here small q is equal to capital Q divided by 12. You will get 38 divided by 12 is equal to 3.16 MLD, a million liter per hour. Now what we got here, this 3.16 liter per hour is nothing but it is the hourly supply, okay, which is constant or uniform. आपण जो ग्राफ बघितलेला आहे त्याच्यामध्ये हा जो कर्व आहे इट इज द कर्व ऑफ अ युनिफॉर्म सप्लाय. ओके, क्युम्युलेटिव्ह सप्लाय कर्व जो आपण पाहिलेला आहे. किंवा हायड्रोग्राफवरती जर आपण बघितला तर तो हॉरिझॉन्टल लाईन जी होती, दॅट हॉरिझॉन्टल लाईन इज नथिंग बट इट इज द लाईन ऑफ युनिफॉर्म सप्लाय. युनिफॉर्म सप्लाय लाईन म्हणजे प्रत्येक तासाला हे आपण एवढंच या ठिकाणी पंपिंग करतोय. दिस इज कॉन्स्टंट. But what about the supply demand? Demand is not constant, it is varying like this, right? So now let us prepare the table जो आपण टेबल वरती पाहिलेला आहे एनालिटिकल मेथड मध्ये. that table we have to prepare. This table. So prepare number of columns 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 columns you have to prepare there. First 3 columns are the given. In first column write down the time. Give the number to the table, that columns. Column number 1 is for the time. Second column is for the demand. Third column is for the supply.